Okay, take 3, and this is gonna be the last one because there's almost no more battery, and I have to stop. I'm currently working on a application which is pretty cool, I think. Basically, what I want to do is generate most of the application um, by using the backend, the database definition as a canvas, and then we can generate our services, and then after that we can add our own services. So if like the database generated code isn't sufficient for what you want to do, like if you have a bank statement or something, and there's what you want to know is how which products have been have been bought by that bank statement, then you have to of course add those connections yourself. um, if there's a foreign key, of course it's generated on its own, but mostly you have to like calculate which things are used, and then you have to make those services yourself. But anyways, what I did is I made a three-step generator. The first let's define our layers. We have the database layer, of course. We have our database access layer. So that's the database context and the entities. Then, based on our entities, we of course have our DTOs, which are safe representations of the, here we go, of the entities. Um, then we have our interfaces. Those are also in the shared folder, of course, which are the implementations of our services. Then we have converters, which are converting entities to DTOs and of course to the way back. And we have our services, which will be using our database context. Um, and then of course you have the API, which is going to use our services. Then we have some kind of a proxy on the client side, which is going to call our API. And then, of course, we have to also make our views, which is going to use the entity at the front end, so the user can actually interact with the database and everything. So these steps are always needed. That's like the lowest kind of steps you need. And what I did is I made 3 steps for generation. My step 1 generator is going to take our database context and entities. It's gonna read it, and based on all relationships and everything, it's gonna generate DTOs for us, converters, interfaces, and services. So at that stage, we have like the whole interaction with the backend, with the database. It has been generated, and we also have we even have services which we can use to interact with the data. From this step, in between step 1 and 2, you are going to create your own services, which is going to consist of taking maybe generated services and changing them so they match what the business logic has to offer, but also create new services. And there's like a I've made these. the attributes. I can show you here. I'm gonna make it small. Um, I have these attributes, and these tell the generators how the relationships of the services itself are. So you can make your own service and also use these attributes, and you can just hook into the current structure which is generated, and just hook in your own services with own views and that kind of stuff. So there's this smart way of working that you can just add on stuff that isn't generated, and make it um, hook it in such a way that we can then use to generate the rest of the application. So step two will be using those services that have been generated, and also those services that we just made, and uh, generating for those services the APIs and proxies. So we might have like 10 entities, but we might have 15 services. So that means there's 15 APIs and 15 proxies. So that's step two. And then the last step, of course, will be to generate the actual pages for those proxies to let the users interact with the database. So that's I currently already have this setup, and it's already done. It's working. It's not working exactly how I want, but I'm almost there. But the problem that I had is that if you change the surfaces, if you make changes to the interfaces here, the problem is going to be that the next steps are dependent on the definitions of those previous steps. So if I have here in step two, or in step one, I have a authentication service which is accepting users with emails and phone numbers, and we want to also register address or something like that. Then or like we want to change, that's a better example, we want to change the phone property to phone number or something like that. Then what is going to happen is that the API is going to throw exceptions because the name has been changed, and of course the proxy is going to throw exceptions, and the controls are going to throw exceptions, all because the interface has been changed. And so at that point, I also have to change all the stuff that has been generated before. And for that problem, I found out about. I already knew that you could register like generated CS files into your project, into your assembly at runtime. But there's also like this really cool thing that they call it analyzers, and these you can use them to basically do a pre-reflection on the whole assembly, and pull out your information that you want to know, and then generate source files based on the things that you see in the project, which are temporary files which are injected into the application, but it handles like you can use those files aren't actually in the solution, but they are rendered in a before the compiler is being uh, executed. Um, so for the rest of the application, for the rest of the projects, it feels like those files are actually there. And so what I'm going to do is uh, I'm gonna mark my services and I'm gonna mark my interfaces. So these two are gonna get some kind of an attribute mark, and this will allow me to identify them at the compile time, and they are going to generate the API and the proxies and also the front side. So these are two separate. Um, the APIs know more than the proxies, of course. So, but they're going to generate those files in memory, so they're not going to be actually inside of the project, but they're going to be there virtually. So if you would to change the interface of step one, it will automatically update step two interfaces and everything, so you can also do step three. And maybe I'm gonna do the same for step three, but that's the next step. First, I want to make this, because this is also pretty much a product, because this doesn't exist, um, as far as I know, of course. So, of course, there's gonna be somebody in the comment section later that's gonna say, "Yeah, we already built it," but I'm building it right now. I don't care. so, um, so I want to make a NuGet package of this, and I already got a really good name for it. So that's I'm kind of really excited, and because I will be able to make this work. I already have it working. I just found out all the ingredients to the solution to make this actually work as a NuGet package. So I never have to write another API in my life, or another proxy, because I'm just gonna generate them from this code generator analyzer that I'm going to make right now. And yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Like I said, can't really show you anything. Yeah, I can show you, but I'm a little bit shy about it. So, but this is what I'm actually working on right now, and the thing is gonna be that this step two generator, whatever NuGet package, which I'm going to build, is also going to use like previous stuff that I made. I made like my own serializers and those kind of things, and I'm gonna use that technique to maximize the data throughput for this step, because as you know, like if you use gRPC versus APIs, it's like three to four times as fast, and those optimizations, um, I'm gonna make them inside of my APIs. So if I'm actually gonna call, if I'm gonna use this package, and I'm calling my APIs, I'm gonna um, make these calls special in a way. It's not like what if you're gonna examine what data is going over the line. It's gonna be exactly the same data, but like it's gonna be valid JSON, like the same JSON that's gonna come out of a API right now. But I'm gonna optimize the generation of this JSON stream, and I'm also gonna optimize the reading of this JSON stream so I can like really read in a fast pace through all the JSON, which is gonna be, I think, basically the same as gRPC speeds. So yeah, I'm really excited to make this because I think I can make it work. And then we have like um, special control API controllers that they are going to be registered to your application automatically. Stuff like Swagger is going to work out of the box because it's still a normal API. But under the hood, I'm gonna make optimizations that are going to speed up things dramatically. So yeah, I'm really excited about it, and that's the end of the video, I think. Next video, I hope I will be able to do a proper um, example, demonstration. I can show you something, but it's not really that. I think it compiles right now, so it's the last thing. Um, yeah, I have to. As you can see, I deleted all the controllers right now, so I'm still working on the concept for implementing the first step. Can I stage this? Yeah, I can stage this. I'm just gonna stage this. It's compiling, so I'm gonna show you the generator. I hope it still runs. So right now, it ran. I'm checking if it actually generated valid code because otherwise I'm gonna get a lot of errors right now. But I think it's gonna be okay. Yeah, okay. So now, if we just close this for a moment, now it did step 1 and 2 actually on the for the models, and there were a few services already, but as you can see, it generated all the DTOs, it generated all the interfaces. I'll show you DTO. Let's show you. Let's do this one. As you can see, there's also these special decorations, so I can use reflection to generate the next steps, because the only access point will be this DTO in step 2. So that's why I embed the extra attributes in here. Then we have the interfaces for the services, of course. So I'll show you the bank statements where currently, as you can see, there's like a CRUD, create, read, update, delete, and I also have a list and a list by. So it's actually CRUD or something like that. So, but these options are generated automatically, and it As you can see, there's the all first kind of smart thing that it it detected that this company ID is a foreign key, so it automatically generated a um, list by that foreign key method. So there's likely a chance that I'm gonna need this function. So um, then if we go to the business side, we have our converters, the bank statement converter. I do here, I built the name of the foreign keys. There's this special kind of, you already saw it in this one, is name. Um, this this foreign key property is called company ID, of course. There's also a company ID here, and the company has a name, so it just builds up the name in here. Then we also add if you can update or delete this, so these properties are also generated. I'm actually on the fence on how I'm gonna solve this because I don't really like integrating security into our the DTOs. But yeah, and then of course, the conversion of the DTO to the entity. I think this is the other way around, but I don't care. Then we have our CRUD handlers. This is an extra step that I didn't talk about earlier. It generates these kind of files, and these are basically telling everything about what kind of security is needed for this kind of entity. So as you can see, it's all if user is not null, so that's basically you have to be logged in to use this, and it's okay to use anything, but we have a list all bank statements. Yeah, it's basically okay to use this as long as you're logged in right now. But it builds these handlers, and like this is something that is hard for me to I can of course automate this stuff, but it's gonna be a mess with attributes and that kind of stuff. So that's why I made these files, and they are going to be um, generated, and then I'm gonna leave them as is. So if I change this file, it's not gonna update to the new generated file because there's a really small chance that you're actually gonna update this file, because if you need another extra property on your entity, it's not gonna affect this. This is only about foreign keys, primary keys, and security kind of stuff. So yeah. Then we have the services. Again, I'll show you this one. I already shown you before, but you can see here I'm basically consuming everything and routing everything, having all kind of error messages, and this is all generated based on the entities. So I'm gonna create. I have a create method, and it's gonna create the bank statement for you. This is of course, you could say make like a base service or something like that, and like have all these steps. This is pretty. It's um, almost 30 lines of code. This could be done in less lines of code, but um, this was also a design decision for me, that I wanted to make everything uh, as transparent as possible, so you don't miss any steps. If you go through the code, you're gonna see every step that's it's going to take. And because we are generating everything, it's not gonna be a problem that it's more code and more duplicated code like that, because it's all generated anyways. So yeah, that's why I wanted to improve readability. I don't know if this is actually such a good thing, but you can clearly see it's gonna take the